Welcome back again to another episode of Tech Deals, where I have previously mentioned the gaming laptops under 30k. Now we are going to what I said, video editing and 3D modeling. So these are my top 12 laptops under 100,000 pesos for video editing and 3D rendering. First one right here is the Acer Aspire E15. This is one of the basic laptops that has a U processor and an HD 620 GPU that has a 256GB SSD. Although this one is priced at around 3,900, that you can actually do some basic editing and also basic 3D works. But if you want to aim higher, come along for the ride for the number 2, which is the MSI CX62. This one is the Core i7 variant with a 940MX GPU that has 8GB of RAM and a 1TB hard drive for a lot of editors, but I don't actually expect that this one will be good also because it has an HD display and it is a TN panel, but I could say this is a budget deal for 37,995. Next one is the Acer Aspire VX15, and I'm going to explain it just the lesser one. You have the GTX 1050 version with a 1080p display, which is IPS with 7th generation 7300 HQ Core i5 that has 8GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD around 45,900, which is really the sweet spot for video editing and 3D rendering on the basic needs. Next one is the ASUS FX502VM. This laptop is still infamous to its point as an ASUS laptop that I know it is ranked 2 on best and worst laptop brands. This one has the 7700 HQ Core i7 1060 NVIDIA GeForce with 3GB of GDDR5, 16GB of RAM, 128GB SSD with a 1TB hard drive, and an anti-glare Full HD display. And that is actually okay for a gaming laptop slash video editing and 3D rendering. So the next one here is the new ALIENWARE 15R3. This laptop, you already know what ALIENWARE is, but I'm going to explain some of the specification. So you have a GTX 1050 Ti, Full HD IPS display, and a 7300 HQ Core i5 with 8GB of RAM and a 1TB hard drive for an immersive video editing and also 3D rendering experience, which I do recommend getting this one if you want to upgrade a little bit more. So on the Mac side, we have the 13-inch MacBook Pro, and I'm not going to explain the 15-inch because it is too pricey. So we have the base model 69990, where you have the Core i5 dual-core processor with 8GB of RAM, a 128 PCIe based SSD, and a 6100 graphics, which is the Iris. This one can actually give you the potential of video editing, especially rendering and 3D modeling, and it is really easy on a Mac. But we go on to the next one, which is the sweet spot for a lot of editors and 3D rendering alike. This is the Lenovo ThinkPad P50s. You already know this mobile workstation as a type of a ThinkPad quality with its durability, but also doesn't have any kind of problems with their specs. You have the Core i7 6500U 8GB of RAM, 15.6 IPS display, M500M from NVIDIA, which is the Quadro card. So the difference between the Quadro card and GeForce is that Quadro is more into the 3D modeling, so you really need to have more cores, and this is not actually aimed for a gaming type of device, so you have to keep that in mind. 69980 can give you the full potential, especially if you want to use this laptop for its full reliability, especially for editing. Next one here is the HP ZBook 15U G3. This laptop is actually really good for a 6600U processor, 8GB of RAM, and 15.6-inch IPS display. This can actually give you the full potential of video editing work and also rendering because you have an AMD FirePro W4190M, and this is actually good for the price of 73,980. And I'm going to say this is not going to be the cheapest. Now we go on to the next one, which is one of my favorite, the Dell Precision M3510. This laptop is a little bit more updated compared to HP because this one has the 6820 HQ with 8GB of RAM, 15.6-inch Full HD display with an AMD FirePro 5130M. This one can actually give you the full potential of video editing, 3D rendering as well for around 87,480. But if you want to have a slimmer type, you don't actually need those Quadro cards. You can actually get the XPS 15 that has a 960M and a Core i7 6700 HQ around 84,984. This one has an SSD on it, so 8GB of RAM, not a bad deal. It can actually give you the full potential if you want to upgrade, and it is upgradable. So now we go on to MSI. We have the WS60 mobile workstation. This is one of the most expensive laptop that I could say in a workstation, but you have the 1000M GPU from NVIDIA, 1080p display with 8GB of RAM, and an Intel Core i7 6700 HQ. This can give you the full potential of editing, especially 3D rendering, with a 1TB hard drive, 7200 RPM can give you the full storage space. at around 9980. And last but not least is the MSI GS63VR Stealth Pro. If you are balanced into gaming and video editing as well, all of the above, you can actually get this. You have the Core i7-7700HQ, GTX 1060 with 16 gigs of RAM and 256GB SSD and an additional 2TB hard drive for around 99,400. And this is actually a really great laptop, especially for slim looking, and also you can do a lot of things. So those are the top 12 laptops under 100,000 pesos. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.